I'm actually would like to address myself as a brain applicator. I mean, for any things that I learn, I like to see how I can apply from the perspective of brain. I also love to do re-innovation to make sure that it becomes easier and more adaptable for my needs. I mean, same goes to the client or even the children. So I'm actually a business life coach for the learning and wellness. And I actually been certified by HRD Corp, actually under the government. Also, I very much do a lot of green energy and environmental care, especially using nanotech and effective microorganism. It's like using the bacteria to restore the Mother Earth soil and so forth. If you understand from the world scientists, the whole Earth, the whole entire Mother Earth, farmable soil only left with 60 years. So it is important that we have to learn how to use a bacteria to actually go and restore the Mother Earth soil so that we have what they call healthier crops to be consumed. I love education and I love to do training, but nowadays I've been doing training from a brain perspective for the last 20 years. Okay, this is basically just a brief introduction what I do. And I do a lot of what they call publicity for people to understand how to use our brain effectively. In fact, if you look at the center, training method for gaining keyboard skill, that was my first encouragement whereby I invented the easiest typing method in the world. Until today, it is still do, since 2000. I've trained more than 20,000 people worldwide, and especially in the school, children, train the trainer for the teachers and so forth, and then especially even for corporation. So in fact, in Malaysia, when I participated into the competition, he won me the third prize. And I started doing a corporate training in IT. So I'm not sure if you heard about this company called New Horizon. It's actually considered the world's biggest training company in the world biggest training company. And in Malaysia, we are internationally the biggest. It's like typically every month we train about 4,000 children. But when I have challenges with my partner, I withdrew and I start venturing into smart school. That's why on the lower left corner, you can see that our children in the primary school and secondary school, imagine after 6 years' time, a primary school can outbid 3,000 schools worldwide. They mean primary and secondary school worldwide, and won the highest award called Platinum Awards. Okay. But again, because of the encouragement from the keyboarding, I focus more onto the brain development, I mean the biocomputer rather than the physical computers, because it gives me more encouragement and also easier for me to develop people's brain than using the computer software. So that's why I've been researching from the prenatal all the way to the seniors. Okay, so if you look at the left corner, this is actually Professor Robin. He's an expert in fingerprint and also in DNA, hair in DNA. I actually leverage on his technology to develop my daughter and also helping some of the clients of mine to be able to build their potential, understanding how you can tap into their innate potential that can be trained without effort. Same goes to their health management and so forth. I also been interviewed to talk about sugar addiction, and also by both are NTV7 on the brain learning and so forth. Okay, these are all the activities that we've done. When I do all my product development, it is done locally. I don't actually leveraging on anything coming from abroad, from overseas. We did everything internally, and we would like to see how we can apply onto the kids from baby all the way to seniors. So you can see on the upper right, I actually train a group of like the whole Selangor education states, about our drawing program. So I also do training to universities. We also be invited to go to Netherlands to open up a midbrain on the upper left. You see that I used to have a center to train the kids to understand how to memorize about 1,000 cards and so forth. Okay, in fact, we also been tested by USM, University Science Malaysia, to certify 2 of my program. One is actually 3D Easy Art drawing program, and the other one actually is mathematics called Lazy Math. So I've been invited by a lot of universities, especially in Utah. I've been doing since 2007 to give them free training and also free publicities. Okay, you can see that I even did training for what you call the kindergarten teachers. I did a lot of corporate training for Huawei, for Sirim, from Singchu, from Western Digital, Intel. I did many years. On the lower right, you can see that I even teach about recycling on 5R to toddlers. Right, this is actually what I do. Okay, so you can see that I actually did a lot of. I also do a lot of charitable, to children home. These are actually like Kerinci. I also do to the SEED group. And for quite a number of years, also train into disabled children to understand how it works. So corporate training, the means is like all walks of life, I'm actually covered. Okay.
This is number 1.
Okay, So I would like to open with a quotation coming from myself. Life is simple. Actually, if you really understand how the entire thing works, right, is to make it simple and easy. But unfortunately, if really realistically, when we look into the life is actually very simple, but not easy. Would you agree with this statement? If you do, please type yes. Life is simple, but not easy. Yep, why? Just type Y to say yes. Very good. Okay, but again, if I ask you, can you share with me an example? What are the things is really simple, but never easy to do? Can you just share? I mean, enlighten me. What are the activities that can be claimed simple, but never easy to do? I'm sure the government have made an announcement. Please, every citizens of Malaysia, if you can, please exercise every day. Do exercise every day so that you become healthier. You can build your immune system, fall sick less and so forth. But unfortunately, it is a very simple task, but never easy to do. Why? Okay, because we've never been taught to become a habit. Now, I give you an example. This is something that I'm asking you as a question. May I have a show of hand by typing into the chat box afterwards? You just type in 1 or 2. Are you suffering from any of this pain called neck pain, shoulder pain, pain from the back, pain from the pelvic, pain from the kneecap, pain from the ankle? Okay, do you have any of this? If you do, please type yes. Just one of them. Don't have to be all. You have pain, have been suffering pain from the neck, from the shoulder, from the back, from the pelvic, from the kneecap, from the ankle. Okay, oh, nobody, very good. Okay, like to hear that. But you see, majority of the human being nowadays, right, at least will suffer from one of this pain. Why? As a human being, we fall under the category of animal. Okay, when I ask you to translate animal into Chinese or in Cantonese, it is called 动物 or 动物. If I ask you directly translate this 动物 into in direct English, it becomes moving object. As a human being, we are all moving object because we are warm blood. If you were to walk 10,000 steps, maximum 10,000 steps a day, preferably 5,000, minimum 5,000 steps, there's a chances whereby because your joints, blood are circulating, therefore you might not be suffering from any of this pain. Therefore, it is important that we must actually walk every day to increase the blood circulation. But unfortunately, it's a very simple task, but never easy to do. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to challenge you by asking you to memorize 10 objects. Why? I'm here to share with you, actually, we all have powerful memory. Unfortunately, a lot of people say, when my memory deteriorated as I age, or I'm not slept enough, so my memory age. But actually, it's a matter of how you train your brain to work. So therefore, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Just listen only, no writing, no registering. Use your memory, use your head to remember. Okay, it start with first object, tree, T-R-E, eyes, triangle, car, glove, gun, rainbow, octopus, cat, and bowling ball. I'll repeat. Tree first. Eye, triangle, car, glove, gun, rainbow, octopus, cat, and bowling ball. Can you just type into the chat box and tell me what are the 10 objects that you remember? 10 objects. Do your level best to type whatever you remember. Eye, yes. The rest, you're not? Yeah. Can you actually just type one shot and tell me what are the 10 objects that you remember? I give you 10 objects. 10. No one? Please be participative. I like to, okay, very good. Now you give me tree, eye, triangle, car, glove, gun, rainbow, shoot. Very good. Okay, do your level best. Now again, the next task is actually, please tell me these 10 objects in sequence. I need them to be in sequence. Would you be able to do so? Please share with me. These 10 objects must be in sequence. First, okay. Now, listen carefully. Please listen carefully. I'm sharing and teaching you how to remember them easily. Okay. Now, we start with object number 1. 1 is tree because the tree trunk looks like number 1. Number 2 is eyes because we all have 2 eyes, right? Triangle, obviously, name as triangle, it comes with 3 angles, right? 4 is car because you need 4 tires to drive a car. 5 is glove because your glove must be worn onto 5 fingers, okay? Number 6 is gun because this is an old gun. They call it 6 shooters, so we can only shoot 6 bullets. Number 7 is rainbow. Everybody knows that after rain, rainbow comes out, it comes with 7 colors. So rainbow is 7, 7 is rainbow. Octopus come with 8 legs. Then Western people say cat comes with 9 lives. And then bowling ball, when you hit the bowling ball, you have to knock down how many pins? How many pins? Okay, can you tell me the 10 objects again? In sequence, please, before I ask you further. What is item number 1? What is item number 2? What are 3, 4, 5, all the way number 10? Can at least one of you just share with me the answers in sequence, the correct answers? Take your time, we are not rushing. Just give me the 10 objects that you remember. Especially, I need them to be placed in sequence. I need them to be in sequence. Nobody types. Okay, 3, eye, triangle, car, glove, gun, rainbow, octopus, cat, bowling ball. Very good. Right, very good. Okay, let me ask you very quickly, if you can, go and type as fast as you can inside the chat box. Tell me item number 5. What is that? Item number 5 will be glove. Okay. Tell me number 4 is what? Number 4. Car. Okay, very good. Bowling ball? Okay. Cat is number 9. Why? Because of 9 life. If I ask you number 3, what is number 3? Number 3. Number 3 is triangle because of it comes with 3 angles. Number 1 is 3. You see, you guys remember. You guys can really remember because what you do is this following. Like I said, learning is never difficult. Learning is actually easy as long as you're fulfilling these 3 criteria. If you can snapshot them and copy them down. We learn by copycat because you don't know, you have to learn from the expert. Always learn from the expert by copycatting them. In psychology term, we call it modeling. You model what they do, just copycat what they do. Same goes to the kids. Kids is all copycatters. They are super learning machine because they love to copycat for a start. But if you want to make it habitual, it's a repetition. You have to repeat and repeat, repeat. That's why we call it repetition is a bundle of learning. You can only train them to be able to keep on repeating until it becomes habitual, become autopilot mode. Association, now very important key. Every parent, please remember this. Learning is by associate what you do not know with what you're familiar. Just like what they did earlier. You don't know how to remember the 10 objects, but because there's a resemblance of 1 equals to 3, 3 equals to 1, 2 is I because it's actually, there's a assemblant of the 2. 3 is triangle, 4 is car, 5 is glove. Why? Every time you ask why, then you'll be able to remember this association. We associate what we do not know with what familiar. So use an analogy, that's what I'm saying, okay? So drawing can be simple. A lot of people don't like drawing, right? Why? Because we're not being well trained in the school. So I have this program, okay, whereby we model what they call the Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was claimed to be a genius because he started to draw. In fact, all children, when they're born, they like to draw, they like to scribble, they like to go and sketch. They don't write, they draw. So one of the intelligence that was set in the intelligence is actually called visual spatial intelligence. Among all other intelligence, right, the first intelligence to be developed is actually called visual spatial intelligence. Think in picture. Because as a human being, if I ask you to think, please don't think about pink elephant. May I know what are you thinking? I bet you are thinking about pink elephant because our brain will turn everything into pictorial. It will change everything into picture. So therefore, you must train yourself, train everybody. As long as you're a human being, you know how to think, train them to think in pictures, right? That's how we start. So this is a very unique drawing whereby we are training the brain to understand, not just for the sake of drawing. Because in Malaysia, in year 2000, I noticed that all children, they do not know how to draw. They only know how to do coloring. So whenever competition they're participating, they're only participating in coloring contests, not drawing contests. But here, our emphasis is different because I follow Da Vinci, learn how to draw first, okay? Now, you see this is a plain drawing. The pre-test, a kid's 9-year-old is a what they call a camp, 6 hours camp. That means it's a 6 hours program. So what happened actually, like this case was drawing a house. I'm sure, I bet all children, all parents, all adults will draw like this, just a flat house. It looks okay, right? But imagine, after 6 hours, what can this child do? What he did was, he was able to draw three-dimensional upon get proper trained and stimulated on the brain. Like I say, this is called brain compatible. Meaning to say, once he know how to appreciate it, he know how to adopt it, he technically can actually remember it for life. But I already said earlier, right? Repetition. He had to keep on practicing, become habitual. Then he start to know how to draw three things in 3 dimensions. It's only about a matter of 6 hours. Of course, this is actually a boot camp. Now, look at on the next one. You can see there's a flower, and I'm not sure if you can tell what's the next object. Anyone? Can you tell what is the next object? What do you think you're looking at? What does it look like to you? Donut. Very good. Okay, indeed, it is a donut. But you see, some people will tell me it's a pond. Yes, it looks like a pond as well. But it's important just to share with you, right? An 8-year-old boy, after being trained for 6 hours, you look at the donut, it now comes with contour. Yeah, because of the sunlight, they can distinguish the shadow, the other side of the shadow, right? So this is what we are training the children to be able to accomplish. Learn to draw properly using the brain compatible approach. 14-year-old drawing a house and a cake, but before and after. Now, imagine we train about 200 kindergarten. We invited them, come and learn and see how they draw. Because I want to know how they drew. Eventually, they draw just like any typical children, adult, and so forth. Draw a flag. But after 1 day training, she could come up with this better drawing like 3-dimensional. But let me share with you, these are called adults. If you were to look at children as young as 4-year-old, don't they look cute? They have all their creativity in their head. Of course, here I want to emphasize, we don't care about the precision. We don't care how accurate they draw. We only want them to draw out what is actually inside their thought. They draw all the creative drawing. A house with a doorknob, no? We only two leaves came out from the branch and so forth. This is called creativity. Now, the next one, a cloud, right? 4-year-old who draw a cloud, a sunflower, no? With all the expression, cartoonized and so forth. It's important that we don't care about precision. We care about what is actually inside their mind. Drew it out, explore it, no? For them to put on a piece of paper. 5-year-old child, right? And let me share with you, this is one of my favorite called Durian Man, drew by a 5-year-old child, right? Now, it is cute. You see, he has all the imagination. He just tells us how the durian works and so forth, how he walks and so forth. But compared to a 26-year-old teacher, I need you to do a comparison. This is drew by a 26-year-old teacher. She was a teacher, right? He drew like this. Compared to a 5-year-old child, won't I actually like this better? Now, 8-year-old child, right? 8-year-old child. Now, let me show you another surprise drawing. It's drew by ADHD child, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. See, I want to share with you, everybody claim that learning disabled child got problem, but actually all learning disabled child, they have very powerful right brain. It's just unfortunately their left brain is considered malfunction or not manageable. So they cannot coordinate. So that's why they are super smart. You just have to learn to train them to know how to appreciate and communicate. But let's start with drawing. This actually drew by a 9-year-old child. He drew the same thing on the horse, which is beautifully done. Okay, it's a beautiful drawing. Even a 28-year-old teacher who couldn't draw and drew a high-tech caterpillar. But that time, she refused to accept that it was drew by her. She kept commenting that, oh, this is drawing actually done by you. You actually brainwashed me to know how to draw. I say, how can I brainwash you? This actually was it's inside your mind. Okay. We have as old like 22-year-old, 46-year-old. My oldest student was 80 plus. And 2 of them were professors, came from India University, just to come to learn how we did it. Because the intention is not really training know how to draw alone. It's to stimulate their brain, especially the right side of the brain, where a lot of neurons develop. Now, one of my students, it was 1999, he couldn't draw. And again, he doesn't know he has a potential to draw. Now, one fine day, after being trained, after being stimulated, whatever he visualized inside the head, he could have it drawn onto this piece of paper. This entire drawing took him 2 hours with only a piece of paper and pencil, nothing else. No eraser, nothing. Because we don't encourage people, make mistake, use eraser. Make a mistake on the keyboarding, use a backspace or delete key. we have seen that we actually discourage that. We want them to really train to know how to continue. Same drawing, same person, another 2 hours of drawing in one of the 5 nights. Okay, 2 hours. This one took him another 4 hours. If you like to share how geniuses able to come up with so many brilliant ideas, you should learn from Einstein. You should even learn from the local the what they call the genius. I rephrase. The greatest inventor, to be exact, is the greatest inventor. Okay, with more than 4,000. Even Thomas Edison only invented 2,000 items. Right, just to share with you, they go through the similar process of the brain and mind management. Okay, so here, I'm sorry if I were to get somebody offended. I just want to share. This applies to myself. I was born really intelligent, but I think it's the education that ruined me. Why? Especially in 21st century, the teachers today educate the children, the future student, with the outdated or the past material or method. No, they are no longer applicable for the modern child. Children need to be exposed to a new technology, new method of learning, and in fact have to go with acceleration, especially tap into their brain potential and mind. Okay, so my belief is like this: there's no one who cannot learn. There's only the child, he or she was taught wrongly. Okay, everyone can learn. Just have to find the right method. Just have to understand how they think, understand what is their 5 sensory, how they behave and so forth, to be able to teach them how to learn. Okay, exception will be unless they are not going proper stimulation. Now, why I say so? Because I had a China teacher. She was very popular in Singapore. She was actually an expert in parenting then. It was about 2005, I guess. Okay, she just found us. She was amazed how come everybody can draw amazingly. So when he purposely came from Singapore, he's actually from Shanghai. He's a Shanghai teacher. She actually came to Malaysia and found us and wanted us to demonstrate to her how it works. So I will share with you this. What do you think this is? Can you share with me in the chat box? What do you think this drawing is? Make a wild guess. What do you think this drawing is? Compass. Compass, huh? Okay, it wasn't. Now, let me share with you. After 40 minutes, imagine 40 minutes, she could draw like this. It's a cake. I mean, even Shanghai teacher couldn't draw then. It's a cake, right? Now, she at least could draw something like 3 dimensions in 40 minutes. Now, this is obviously it's a cloud, right? After 12 minutes, she drew something better. Now, this one obviously is a tree, but 5 minutes time, right? 5 minutes later, she do like this. So we are here to share with you, anyone can learn. Just have to find the right method. Okay, but again, people take it learning is suffering, learning is tough, learning is very, very boring. Actually, learning can be fun if you put into the right method. But again, in 21st century, we have to change our mindset, right? We have to change our thought process and so forth. So let me share with you, does everybody think that knowledge is important? Is knowledge important? We are talking about 21st century. Yeah? Do you think that knowledge is important? If you agree, please say yes. Okay. Only 2% response. Right. No. Okay. Knowledge is important. Yes. Yes. Okay. Only 1% say no. It is important, but it only contribute 5% to your learning. In our personal opinion, like my personal opinion, 5% only. Now, how about skill? Is skill important? Is skill important? Yes, everybody says that. Well, yeah, but again, right, to us, you only contribute 10%. What is really important for the remaining of the 85%? Make a wild guess. Make a wild guess. What are really, really important other than the skill and the knowledge, right? What are the remaining 85%? You see, it's an inverted triangle and it contributes attitude, experience. Okay, very good. This is a very good answer. But at the end of the day, right, we boil down to our brain, the mindset. Mindset. I'll prove to you all this. Okay, I'll prove to you that why mindset is important. Skill. You see why in 21st century human beings are being replaced now by what? Human beings are now easily being replaced by 3 things. First, the 5G. What are the remaining 2? Machine, correct. Machine language, which is called AI. Machine, deep learning, AI. Next one, robotic, correct. We are now replaceable. So we have to start thinking, we have to change our mindset, we have to be smarter than the robot, right? And so forth. So here, Prodigy design number one is that if you ask me how you make your child to be really smart and happy, become a genius, please look into their good physical health and mental health. So the solution I give to you is actually called womb sits. It's just an abbreviation. Why womb? Womb is actually, if you understand Latin or Greek, sorry, I can't remember which one, it's Latin or the Greek, right? It's called great mother, great mother. And it's abbreviation of, I reverse it, the B-O-M-B, start focusing on their brain development, understand how their mind works, really focus a lot on the oxygen breathing. Okay, why? Because I give you a statistic. World Health Organization announced on the entire earth, right, more than 80%, 80% of the people on earth are considered sub-health, meaning to say they're at the borderline, neither they are healthy or they are sick. They can sick anytime, they can be healthy anytime. It's just a borderline. So they're not really super healthy. They're not Superman, they're not Supergirl, right? So breathing is actually why? Because 60% people on earth, right, do not know how to breathe correctly. Yes, we are breathing, it's normal, but we only have our 60% of the lung functional. Remaining 60% not functioning yet. Then water, 70% people on earth drunk the wrong water, especially you've been educated. Drink the cleanest water is the healthiest water. Wrong answer. Not only they don't drink water, they drink a lot of other things like this. Coca-Cola, soft drink, teh tarik, bubble tea, anything that's not relevant to water. Yes, they only call liquid, they are not water. We have to talk about drink, what they call good water. That's why water as a hydration is very important. Here I particularly put in H2 because I designed some of the program with some of the factories to be able to optimize the brain capacity. Lifestyle, sleep. Have to sleep adequately. We must sleep, but what time to sleep? Exercise. You don't have to go intense exercise. Look at the old senior people, especially from China, they don't go intense exercise to build their muscular body. They are talking about making the internal organ work so that the free radical can actually be eliminated. Environmental, free from pollutant. We have been actually severely polluted by dioxin, factory, acidic rain, and even now 5G. Please note, when 5G are really implemented, there'll be more people falling sick. Because of this immunity low, right? That's why COVID-19 viruses can attack us. If you understand how to address it, it's just about boosting up your immunity. Diet, eat healthily, eat what they call healthy food, especially something that comes from the ground. Again, I need to enlighten you this. If you were to understand more in depth about what they call this health, right? Health, a lot of people misunderstood that they don't have to take supplement. I always tell people, everyone must take supplement. Why? Because 25 years ago, if you were to take one piece of strawberry, one piece, today to take 1 kg of the strawberry to have equal amount of the nutrition value from one piece of strawberry. One piece versus 1 kg. Another example, if you were to take one piece of sweet corn, today you have to take 18 pieces, 8 pieces of the sweet corn to have the same equal amount of that one piece of nutrition value from the sweet corn. So everybody have to start looking into supplement and nutrients, or even know how to eat right. So here, of course, take care of your spine, because 90% people on earth, right, all got spine problem. I'm very, like I say, I'm here being truthful and share with you genuine information from my own observation. There are so many learning disabled children, whether you call it ADD, ADHD, autism, or Down syndrome, or learning disabled. Please know, my discovery, actually, majority of them, they are born cesarean. Okay, this is because in 26, when I have a childcare center, all the children that came to my center are basically born cesarean, and they all have certain degree of learning challenges, right? After understand, because they did not go through a proper compression through the pelvic, and they are being cesarean open through operation. Therefore, they have challenges. They have challenges to be able to really get all their muscles, their nerve system, especially from the skin, to get connected to the brain. And eventually they have 3 problems. They have flat-footed, scoliosis. Scoliosis means actually their body tilted, spine get tilted here and there, and they are not able to have focus, or they have short of breath and so forth. So eventually when opportunity arises, I will share with you more. Like I say, don't stop. They have to stop drinking all this Coke and so forth. In fact, in 2005, I was actually sent an article from a friend of mine in China, Guangzhou. Okay, because China then become richer and richer, so children are not allowed to drink water. They only drink Coke or soft drink. So eventually you can see a 13-year-old boy having a 60-year-old brain, because you have to understand, Coca-Cola, high content of sugar and carbon dioxide, they are highly corrosive. They will actually chew up your bone, your nerve, your skin, your cell, and so forth. Okay, if McDonald's were to be introduced to Africa, what will happen? Okay, I guess these are what happened to the children. Now, even giraffe actually become obese. Now, children become obese. Do you know that Malaysian is ranked #1 in the whole Asia? And because of the obesity, we have the second problem, chronic kidney failure, and lead to we have the most dialysis center in the world. We have more than 600. We actually rank #1 in the world. Obese is actually #1 in Asia. Okay, come after that will be Thailand. But come to dialysis center, we are ranked #1 in the world. Okay, so imagine how bad the diet is. No mindset diet. See, the man can be as obese as this, woman can be as fat as this, right? Now again, are there solutions? Yes. Now I give you one typical case. This actually belongs to my student, right? She actually best friend came to seek help from me, wanted to be able to get married in 4 months' time. Okay. Eventually, I say, yes, I can help you, but there are criteria to be followed. But again, she was desperately telling me that she need to get married in 4 months' time. She need to resolve her problem in 4 months' time. Then when she spoke, right, her lip will crack, right? Eventually say, I can help, but perhaps 6 months. He said, no, 4 months. But she really put a lot of effort following through all the detoxification, follow through all the lifestyle, follow the methodology provided. Eventually, 4 months later, this is what she became. Okay. When she got married in November, she became as beautiful as she was before then. Even when she married and get pregnant, she also still looked beautiful. Eventually, even the baby, even very, very, very beautiful. Okay, I want to share with you, everything is doable. You just have to find the right method. But of course, it started from the mindset. Prodigy design step #2. You must identify his or her talent. You must identify what is a health challenger he or she might be experiencing. Preferably, actually, you go and do what they call a DNA test. That's what I did to my daughter. I do a fingerprint to identify her potential through DNA. I also identify what's the health challenges, the risks that actually can occur through DNA, because I wanted her to be as healthy. QQ, I'll share with you about QQ, which is my daughter afterwards, and activate the other side of the brain called the right brain, because our education system focus very much on the left brain, whereby it's about logical, but they don't understand the power of the right brain, which is 1 million, take note, 1 million times more powerful than the left brain. If you're able to do so, then their brain will become superb. Of course, solution will be using the alpha, the live brain health assessment like DNA test, use our technology called super brain activator to open up the third eye, which I'll show you some example. Now here, let's do some simple exercises. If you don't mind, just give me a minute. I need to do some setting to my handphone first. Okay. What I want everybody to do, if you can you please switch on your camera, on your video? Can you please on your video so they can see your expression? We're going to do exercise together. Thank you. Okay, what I need you to do is to be able to actually follow me. We're going to do what I call brain exercises. I want to see how integrated your brains are. Okay, so the first time, actually show me any of your hand, like 5 fingers. Show your 5 fingers. Okay, this is going to be a target number 5. And the other hand will be a gun. You're pointing like a gun, shooting at target number 5. Okay, when I say shoot, right, you will shoot by changing the hands. That means your 5 become a gun, and your gun become a 5. Can you follow? Everybody can follow, huh? Ready? Shoot. 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 Now let's shoot faster and faster, huh? Shoot. 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 Do you have challenges? Now you see, your right brain is control the left side of the body, and the left brain control the right side of the body. So what happens actually, when you have these two brains activated at the same time by moving your fingers or hands, you become a challenge. So I will urge you to go and practice more to get your left and right brain to become more balanced. We call it coherent. Are we okay so far? Okay, if you're okay, show me a thumb. Show me a big thumb. Very good. Let's do something more challenging. It's still the same thing, but this time your 5 become number 4. This time your 5 become number 4. You are shooting at number 4. Are we okay? You understand? We are repeating the same procedure, but instead of shooting 5, you shoot at number 4. Ready? Shoot. Change to 4. Okay, shoot. Shoot. Okay, shoot. We're good. Shoot. 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 Okay, shoot faster and faster now. Shoot. 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 So what happened? So you start to have this confusing mind. Okay, let's do one more round. One very simple one we call change face. Changing your face. Now one hand, any of your hand, touching the tips of your nose. Any of your hand, touch the tips of your nose. Remaining of the hand, go around and touch your opposite ear. That means your right hand touch your left ear. Right? I'm using my right hand to touch the opposite ear, which is the left ear. When I say clap, everybody must clap one time and then switch. Can you follow? Yeah, repeat. One hand, touch the tips of your nose. The other hand, okay, remaining of your hand must go around and touch your opposite ear. That means if you're using a right hand, touch your opposite ear, which is left ear. Then when I say clap, everybody must clap one time and switch over. That means your right hand now touch the nose and your left hand will touch the right ear. Okay, ready, clap. 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 Okay, now clap faster. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, so thank you very much for your participation and show me your video. So I hope that this will give you an understanding how can you actually coordinate your left and right brain. Practice makes perfect. Make it, keep practicing. Okay, you may switch off your video if you want because I'm going to carry on with my presentation. Thank you. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay, as you see that you are now training your brain, left and right brain. So therefore, you must understand we have to start learning how to use the left side and the right side of the brain concurrently together, right? Here, I will give you a very simple example. We have to do everything right before we become better and better. I'm sure you heard a word called working hard or studies hard. Okay, then we have to work smart or study smart. People tend to actually have these two confused. So the actual terminology used is called effective and efficient. So they are comparing to each other. So I'm going to give you a matching, so for you to match them together. One is being effective, the other one is being efficient. Now there are two choices here, do the right thing and do the things right. Can you share with me, effectiveness have to match to which one, number 1 or number 2? In the chat box, can you share with me? Effectiveness must be matched to do the right thing, number 1, or number 2, do the things right. 1, 2, okay. Carry on, please. Just two of you give me an answer. I hope to hear more from you. Okay, effectiveness is do the things right. Okay, 2, 2, 2. Any more? Right, still 2. Jackie also 2. Lucy 1. Okay, good. Now, let's listen carefully. Do the right thing and do the things right. It actually means two different things. Okay, do the right thing. Actually, I have to do something really, really right. What does it mean by that? Being effective. Now, imagine this. Let's say I take one example like WJ. Okay, WJ, I will need you to send me this presenter. Help me to send to Klang. Assuming that you're coming from KL, I need you to send this to Klang. Klang actually located elsewhere. But you're going to help me to send it to Petaling Jaya. Are you doing the right thing? Right? I request that you have this presenter sent to Klang, but instead you send it to PJ. Then you tell me that, oh, go to PJ, I can drive, but go to Klang, I cannot drive. But again, my objective is to ask you to do the right thing by sending this presenter to Klang. Therefore, effectiveness must always match to do the right thing. I'm here to explain to you that whatever we do, people tend to do the smart thing. Okay, but you must always correlate and understand what do they mean differently. So efficiency is that you are doing the things right. We are doing the things right, but effectively. Meaning to say, you know, you are now very clear that I need to send this presenter to Klang, but there are many ways to send to Klang. It can be like through driving, it can be through the Grab, it can be even riding a motorcycle and so forth. But definitely walking is not the most efficient way. It is still effective because I can send it to the Klang. But you see, efficiency is always doing the right thing, but very effectively, because in a shorter period of time, you want to have this presenter delivered to Klang. But I added one more called naturally. Now, of course, I will give you enlightenment as to understand how to go deeper understanding. Now, let me give an example. By show of hand, right, or probably in the chat box, put in the chat box, any one of you love to eat French fry? French fry, especially McDonald's French fry. If you like, please say yes. McDonald's French fry. I didn't ask any other thing. I just asked for French fry only. Do you like McDonald's French fries? No. Oh, okay, good to hear. Anyone who does French fries? Oh yes, okay, Jacqueline. Okay, Luvano. Okay, thank you for sharing. But here, because of time constraint, right, I'm going to show you a 5-minute video presentation. It's a genuine documentary. It's a true documentary. This gentleman was challenging. It was a documentary that he challenged McDonald's, because McDonald's was actually, America was actually the fattest country in the world then. Okay, so the contribution comes from McDonald's. So what he did, he challenged himself for 30 days, every day 3 meals, and nothing else but McDonald's menu. That means any menu come from McDonald's. At that time, there was actually a size. They are small, regular, large, and super size. So you can actually go to YouTube. The documentary was now given, is published for free, called Super Size Me. I actually typed into the chat, and you might want to go and search for it. Okay, his name is Merlock. Super Size Me. Look for this video and show to your kids. Why is it wrong to eat something wrong? Okay, you have to eat something right, not something wrong. Okay, watch this particular clip. It will share with you. What he did was like this. He actually go and do 2 tests. One by the regular homemade French fry and burger. Then he buy practically all the menu choices from McDonald's, and for them to get rotten, decomposed, and see what happened even after 10 weeks. Okay, enjoy. Okay, just before that, allow me to optimize it. Okay.
I got my 2 sacks of McGoodness right here. So what we're going to do, just going to give you an idea of how this food is breaking down in your body. I'm just going to put it in some jars, kind of show you how it breaks down on its own over time, over the next, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. So in here, we've got my favorite right there, the Big Mac. So we're going to put the Big Mac right here in jar number 1. Chicken McGrill. There you go. Boy, let me tell you something, the smell of this food, I just want to take a bite out of it already. One of the worst things on the whole menu, the filet o fish. Look at that thing. It still looks terrible. Going right in there. Next, quarter pounder. That actually looks like meat. There's the quarter pounder. Some fantastic fries. So we're just going to dump right in this jar, right there. In that last jar, we're going to get a hamburger from up the street, from a place where they actually make real hamburgers, where they take the patties and they press them with their own hands and put them on the grill. It's like real meat. And lastly, French fries from a regular restaurant. See what happens at the same time. 2 weeks, French fries from a regular restaurant. 2 weeks, French fries from a McDonald's restaurant. 2 weeks sweaty, moldy burger in there. That burger's all moldy. The filet of fish just starting to mold. That's some kind of cheeseburger. And the Big Mac, still nothing. Big Mac hasn't even started to mold yet. Big Mac still looks like we just bought that thing. Lettuce a little moldy. Chicken McGrill, definitely seen some better days. That thing is beat up. Filet of fish, look at that white fuzz on the top of it. The quarter pounder, that thing's got a rainforest going on inside there.
This burger, same thing. Look, it's starting to get juicy on the bottom. The bun is just like coagulating into some kind of goo. Here's the regular French fries. Those things are black and crazy. Want to see what the McDonald's French fries look like? Check this out. That's right. Some kind of fluke of nature. That's right. This can't explain. But this is what you're eating every time you get these fries. Ooh, that's the Big Mac. That looks good, doesn't it? Mmm, look at this. Oh, the chicken McGrill looks fantastic. Oh, that's so yummy. Look at the fillet of fish. That's very impressive. Quarter pounder, really coming to the end of the road. And are you ready for the French fries? You ready? That's right. Look at that, folks. Why are these not breaking down? That's a really good question. And you have to ask yourself, wow, what's that doing in my stomach then? Big Mac, 8 weeks. Chicken McGrill. I don't even know what that runny liquid goo is right there. Now we move on to the delicious fillet of fish. What do we got? 8 weeks. Mossy goodness. Look at that fuzzy little sandwich. Here's the quarter pounder with cheese in a little sweat box that's happening there. Look at that. Looks like the ice age is set in on a quarter pounder with cheese. McDonald's French fries. It's now been 2 months, and look what's happening here. That's right. Still nothing.
Okay, you see, after 2 months, the French fries still remain intact, nothing broken, no decomposition, no rotten whatsoever. So I need you to think twice, exactly how are they being made? So as compared to the earlier French fry that was made at home or by the regular restaurant, so they get decomposed, they get rotten and so forth because of the bacteria can chew them out. But this one, they don't. So what really happened? 10 weeks later.
10 weeks on the Big Mac. Frosty goodness. Look at the chicken McGrill. 10 weeks. All the filet of fish. Oh, does it get any better than that? I don't even know what that fuzz on the top is. Week number 10, quarter pounder. Some kind of crazy little like science experiment happening there. Look at that. What is wrong with that? There's not even one little sporosaur on there. There's not nothing breaking down. Nothing. Looks like we bought them yesterday.
Okay, after 10 weeks, the smell was horrible, so they threw everything away. By accident, they threw the French fry as well. So they couldn't really conclude how long it actually took to break down or rotten or decompose. So can you share with me what do you think you have learned? Would you still like to consider taking the French fries? After seeing this documentary? This is a genuine one, so that's why I urge you, please refer to the chat box and look for this particular YouTube called Super Size Me. Okay, it's a documentary that was not shot quite a number of years ago. It was being given free nowadays. No, good that you can show to the kids. Should they actually consuming all this fast food and so forth? Okay, let's move on to this. Excuse me. Okay, now move on to the next step. Actually, we just named it about study hard and study smart. So apparently we have to do a comparison, being effective first or being efficient. I mean, do the right thing first or do it smart way. So study hard versus study smart are all referring to the same thing. But I'm going to give you a mathematics equation, and I want you to actually go and do a calculation. Okay, calculation 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 all the way to 100. Can you share with me what is the answer? $5050. Very good. See, but for people who couldn't understand, right? If you do it manually, it will be 1 + 2 to 3, 3 to 3 + 6, 6 + 4 equals to 10, and so forth. It take very long time. But like I say, if you understand a genius, what they do actually, they do the shortcut way. What they discover actually, like you can add up the outer numbers, together, two outer numbers together. For example, you can actually add 1 + 100 equals to 101. 2 + 99 equals to 101. 3 + 98 equals to 101. 4 + 97 equals 101. You just keep on adding until the last two number These last two numbers will be 50 plus 51 equals to 101. But again, how many 101s are there? How many 101s are there? If you calculate, they are total of 50. So you multiply by 50 equals to 5050. That's how you do it. You see, you know how to do the shortcut. Only provided you have worked hard enough to understand there are two criteria. Number one, the key is that you must know what is 0 to 9. If you don't understand what's called 0 to 9, there's no way you can do mathematics. In addition to that, you need to be familiar with the arithmetic operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Or else you can't do this the smart way. I mean, you still have to work hard to get familiar with 0 to 9 arithmetic operators, no? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so if I give you something simpler, like 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to 10, would you be able to do it now? Would you be able to actually figure out what's the answer? Can you apply the method you learned earlier? Earlier was actually 1 to 100. This time I shortened to 1 to 10. Would you be able to come up with the answer spontaneously? Yes, 55. Why? Because 1 plus 10 equals to 11. 2 plus 9 equals to 11. 3 plus 8 equals to 11. 4, 7, 11. 5, 6, 11. So total they are 511, which is equal to 55. What if I will ask you, add 1, 2, 3 all the way to 1000? Can you apply the same method? Yes or no? Would you be able to apply the same method? Like what you learned on the two equation? The answer is yes or no? Yes, okay. So it's like 1 plus 1000 equals to 1001, 2 plus 999 equals to 1001, and so forth. So there'll be 500 pieces of them. Okay, so good. So are we okay so far? If you do, can you show me one? So far, are you okay? Is the pace okay? Is everything beyond understanding? I mean, between your understanding? Very good. Thank you for your reply. Now let's do something more challenging. We still come back to the same basic. Now, instead of using working hard, working smart, okay, or study hard, study smart, I now make it like emphasize on doing it right before we do better and better. Same thing when I teach you about doing all this finger, I'm asking you to do it right first. Do it slow until you get familiar, then you go faster and faster. Now, let's do a very simple mathematics. 1000 minus 478. Can you tell me what the answer is? 1000, subtract 478 from 1000. The answer is 522. Why? Because we learn from school, teach us 0 cannot minus 8. So we have to actually go and do a borrowing. Now 0 become 10, minus 8 become 2. So this 0 become 9, minus 7 become 2. Then this 10 become 9, minus 4 become 5. We got the answer right. But now you're doing it the hard way. How can I do it the smart way? So I now from effective become efficient. So how can we do that? Anyone who can give me the equation or formulation? Anyone? Are you typing, or I just have to review the answers? Okay, if you don't mind, then I'll just, if nobody types and show me how the equation works, I'll share with you. Can you agree with me? Is 1000 equals to 999 plus 1? Can you agree with this equation? 1000 is actually the same as 999 plus 1. Is it correct? Yes, right. See, if I use 999 minus 478, do I need to do any borrowing? You will start realizing that 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 7 is 2, 9 minus 4 is 5. Add the 1 back, it becomes 522. See, answer remains the same, but I'm now using a smarter way. And the good thing about efficiency is that I don't have to make mistake. I cut down, I minimize on the mistake. Is it agreed? Right, you see, this is actually what we meant by you have to start using your right brain, using your creative mind to be able to do this mathematics, right? You can apply this. Now, let's go to the next one. Earlier, I already done it, I already make it more efficient. Okay, make it more efficient. How can I make it, sorry, how can I make it more efficient? How can I make it more efficient? From the earlier one, okay, I'm using 1000 minus 478. Then later I split them, 999 plus 1. But this time, how can I make it more efficient? Any idea? So what I'll give you a tips. I would want you to have this thing put inside. What do you mean by that? Meaning to say, you are now putting the 9 plus 1 equals to 10. So I put 9, 9, 10 minus 478. and it will straight away give me the answer 522. Can you understand? Now, of course, in the school, teacher will never allow this to happen. But let me put it straight. In reality, right, if you were to work for an employer, do they care about your formulation or they care about your result in the shortest period of time? So I want you to emphasize to juggle the balance. Of course, when it comes to examination, they have to give the proper formulation. But this will be a smarter way for you to validate the answer. So you have to learn to use the left brain and the right brain at the same time. Do you agree? If you do, please type 3. If you agree that you should use both sides of the brain, you should actually type 3. Correct. Not just the left side, oh, teacher's way. No teacher's way. There will be teacher's way and what they call the commercial way, so to speak. 3, correct. Now let's give you another tips. Application, how to apply. Can you share with me spontaneously 50 multiplied by 18? What would the answer be? What would the answer be? Anyone? Anyone? 2,700. You have to cut down another 0, okay? It's okay. It's an effort that counts. No right, wrong. It's okay. Let me give an example. I'm sure everybody will have challenges because we hardly use our brain. We like to use computer. We like to use calculation and so forth. But I'm sure, especially Chinese school, technically you've been forced by your parents or grandparents to memorize a timetable. I'm sure you did. So again, we are already familiar with timetable, right? So why can't you use a timetable to actually simplify your task? For example, what multiplied by what equals to 15? And what multiplied by what equals to 18? So I'll give you the answer is 3 by 5 equals to 15, right? And 3 by 6 equals to 18. Now you see, what you need to do is just juggle the number. It's like reshuffle the number. Okay, so we have the 3 combined together, it becomes 9. 5 and 6 together become 30. So 9 multiplied by 30 equals to 270. Does this sound easier to you? See, as long as you see the challenge, the reason why I share this with you, because we are too knowledgeable. Sometimes we don't start thinking how to leverage of what we have learned. Okay, we know that we can learn everything from internet, Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, but have you been learning how to apply the application? Same thing, associate what you do not know with what you're familiar. Now, if I were to give you a second tips or second challenge, can you tell me how can I use the same method here, but simplify further? Look at 15 multiplied by 18. Anyone? Okay, let me give you tips. Leave this 15 unchanged. Don't touch it. Leave it there. Leave it alone. Just focus on 18. What can you do with it? What can you do with 18? Same thing, timetable. The tips is actually timetable. Any idea? If you do, don't, I'll give you the answer. 15 remain unchanged, but you're going to manipulate with 18. So it's actually like 18 is equivalent to 2 multiplied by 9. Okay, so you just have to do same thing. 2 now and 15 together multiplied by 9 is still 270. Do you agree this is actually easy, simple and easy? Yes, no? Are you still with me? Yes, thank you very much. So the point I want to make across to you is there are 2. We have to start changing our mindset. Number 2, okay, accept the fact, one problem can be solved by multiple choices of solution. I repeat, one problem can be solved by multiple choice of solution. Don't have a fixed paradigm. A lot of people just follow what the book say. A lot of people just follow what the teacher say. Stop doing that. You have to encourage your children or even yourself to have a multiple choice of solution. Okay, that's how you actually involve in solving problem, especially innovatively, creatively, and so forth. Okay, I hope you enjoy and learn this. Now here, let's focus on the brain. Before year 2000, the expert, it's only expert, they say that our brain capacity is utilized more than 10%, even up to 20-30%. But after year 2000, we evolved into 21st century, we actually been discovered by the neuroscientists that we do not use more than 3%. No more than 3%. Sounds pathetic. Why so little? Okay. But in fact, if you look at Einstein only utilized no more than 5%. The gap between 2% make him a genius. We are just ordinary people. But again, now it's an opportunity for you to understand brain in depth. Okay. Now, example, you look at the growth of the brain. Okay, this is important for especially new parents. New parents, when you start to have babies, you must realize that when baby is delivered, he or she already accomplishes 25% of the adult brain. 25%. When you reach to 18 months, they grow acceleratedly, 50% of the adult brain. When reached to 3-year-old, it's 60 to 80% of the adult brain. That's why there's this saying, like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. Chinese say, age of 3 determine the fate up to 80-year-old. That's a true saying. Okay. But again, if you look at 6-year-old, the children or the child is already accomplished 90% of the adult brain at 100%. So it left with a gap of 10%. Does that mean that we cannot grow our brain anymore? No, our brain are idle. We need to get it stimulated and activated. So it's your desire, it's your determination if you want to develop your brain. Okay, but of course, you have an advantage if your children is as young as like baby time or even during prenatal, right? So don't waste their brain potential. Train them as early as possible. Their golden brain period is actually from 0 to 12 years old. After 12, it might be a challenge to train your child. Not saying that it's not hopeless, it's just that it becomes very challenging because they start wanting to identify their own identity. They want to establish their own branding or positioning. Okay, here I'll show you a video. Okay, just wait, let me activate the option. Just give me a minute. Okay, this is a very nice video to demonstrate.
Looks like rain again today. Dark clouds gather and fill the sky. Don't know how to talk to you, just know how to say goodbye.
Have you actually got a driver's license? I don't think so. Did you see it back there? Go back where you came from. Learn this language. Go back where you came from. You don't know anything to me. What's wrong with you, Harry? What's wrong with you? Get over here! You don't want to leave! I've had enough of you! I've had enough of you!
So I hope you got the idea of monkey see and monkey do. Whatever the monkey, the big one does or big one do, the small one will tend to follow. Monkey see, monkey do. So it's actually a good reminder that please understand children are never at fault. The fault come from, you figure it out. Now here, of course, after understanding the brain will grow to adult brain, eventually it will get deteriorated. So if you were to actually like start aging, you have to start to take care of your brain, because when you are lack of human growth hormone, is a hormone, you start to age rapidly. Now, example, this is your fully developed brain. Okay, if you don't take care of your brain by drinking a lot of water, don't take care by taking nutrients with adequate oxygen, eventually by the age of 70, you're shrunk by 30%. Okay, and at the age of 90, you're shrunk by 70%. So please, at all times, do take good care of your brain, not only your children's brain, but your own self, right? So here, I also want to enlighten you that we are all born like a Superman or Superwoman. Everyone has the ability. Everybody built with their, live with their potential. It's just unfortunately our education system, we don't know how to get it activated. So here I give you a very obvious example. You can look at the screen and you see the black dots are running all over the places. Can you officially tell me how many black dots can you count, or how many black dots can you find? Any idea? Give me the ballpark figure. How many black dots have you captured? Must be there at all time, huh? 30, okay. Okay, one at least give me the answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is drew by a Japanese artist. He drew a rattlesnake whereby bite its own tail in a circular form. Can you see the snake is actually moving or stationed? That means it's not moving, right? I want you to pay attention. Right? If you stare at the screen carefully, right, it's moving all the time, right? It's moving all the time. But you see, I want to share with you, all human beings are born with all this super, what they call superpower ability. We come with 1 million brain cells. Our each eye, one eye have 130 million light receptors. That means we are just as powerful as like fly, dragonflies, spider, and so forth. We have a lot of small, tiny eye able to see very fast, see all angles and so forth. But we never knew we can do that. The ear is actually the world's most sophisticated vibration detector. That means we are as powerful as a dog. Seriously. Then even the nose can detect a presence of one small an object, 1 part per trillion. The mouth can distinguish 1 billion tastes. The body pain structure, pain sensitivity structure can go up to 4 million. Yet we don't understand how. Now let me show to you, let me prove to you a very simple exercise. This is my laser. Can you see that? Red color laser. And I'm going to have this red color laser and pointing to a designated place, one of the dots. And I want you to make your best effort to have your laser eye focus or eagle eye focus on the red dot. No staring at other places, but focus 100% of your 2 eyeball at the red dot. Just focus at the red dot. Okay, and I bet you will not be able to see any black dots anymore. There's no more movement, nothing at all, because you are able to 100% concentrating by putting your 2 eye focus and 1 focal point. We call it focal point. That's why people say laser eye focus, eagle eye focus. That's what it meant. You focus on 1 point, nothing else. I'm sure you can eliminate no more movement from these black dots. Okay. Now let's do the second one. And I want you to focus, put attention, 100% of your 2 eyeball focusing at these laser dots. And you'll be surprised, hey, all the snakes no longer moving. If you fail to do so, means that you need to really learn how to focus on 2 eyeball, focus at 1 focal point. Okay, that's what you need to do. Okay, so I want you to understand, we are born with super talent. We are born with superhuman power. It's just that we never knew how to get it activated. So here, one of the programs that we developed is actually called Super Brain Activator. Because of time constraint, right? I only be showing you when I was invited to Beijing by Beijing government to do a demonstration to 34 kids. We have done about 600. We didn't do a lot. Okay, we only did about 600 cases with the children to activate their right brain. Actually, to be exact, it's called midbrain. If you want to know scientific term, it's called ESP, extrasensory projection, or some people name it extrasensory perception. Okay, I will show you this. Okay, I need to stop this with laser first. Okay.
哇塞！
对吗？对的，来。
M 0759967773。哇塞！开始说。SA24823215。
OK， 好。
WU53392280。
好。
Okay, you see, all this learning pin note came from all over the places from the parents. There are 34 kids are there, and more than 60% of the children get activated in 3 hours time. In Malaysia, we need to do around the fastest is 6 hours. Typically, we have to do about 10 hours for their midbrain to be activated. So what does it mean by midbrain? Technically speaking, you're activating their inner 5 sensory. That means their inner eye, their inner ear, their inner nose for smell, then their inner touch and so forth. Even plus the next one called 6th sense. So when children get activated, they become so-called superhuman power, superhuman, but they need to be constantly ongoing doing their practices so that they are able to really develop all their brain cells and neuron and so forth. So of course, people will take it, this is a hype. But again, we have done more than 600 test cases. In China, we are amazed. Why children can get activated in 3 hours time? Because children are from very young to learn about all this Chinese literature, Confucius. Okay, in Chinese it's called 孔子、老子、孟子、庄子. Okay, 四书五经, to be exact, 四书十三经. That means they've been reading a lot of classics, learning about Confucius literatures and so forth. So they, as early as possible, they get stimulated. In addition, Chinese character are pictorial based. Chinese, the pictures, from the sound is activating their right brain. These are all proven by neuroscientists. Next time when I talk about Chinese character, I'll share with you more.
妹念这个号码，这个前面的号码。
哇塞！
对吗？对的，对的，来。
M 0759966773。哇塞！
I mean how it's done, right? So my point is actually I want to let you know. Okay, so sorry that I see the black stripe. Just give me a minute to stop share first. Okay, I'll share that again. Okay, no more. Thank you. Okay, so like I say, if once you get that simulated, it's actually have that every cell itself to develop a lot of neural pathway. We call it dendrite. So if you see this is unstimulated brain, once it gets simulated, you keep on building a lot of neural network. That's why the more neural network you develop, even for the senior people, you can eliminate like dementia, Parkinson's disease, or even what they call this brain deterioration, right? So again, I'll show you a scientific picture, the snapshot by the scientists. Now see, as you develop more and more, you become younger. Technically speaking, we call it younger. Now, balancing the brain. Next one, actually, I want you to share with me. Tell me, what do you see inside this picture, this bottle? What do you see inside this bottle? Anyone who can share with me, what do you see inside the bottle? Okay. Some already knew the answer. Any other people? Can you see what's happening inside the bottle? Anyone who can see the two couples, the couple actually cuddling inside? Some of you see couples, two dancers. Yes. Okay. If you would approach a 5-year-old boy or girls, they'll tell you, oh, mommy, daddy, oh, cute, oh, the animals are very cute. They come from sea. Can you observe carefully? Actually, there are a total of 10 mammals that live in the sea. And the assembly of these mammals make us perceive that we think we are looking at a couple. Can you see? If I show you, right? If I show you, can you see this is a dolphin? One dolphin here. If you can see my pointer, I'm pointing at the dolphin. Can you see this dolphin? One dolphin, two dolphins, three dolphins, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There are 10 dolphins inside. Anybody who can see clearly now, there are 10 dolphins inside the bottle? Yes, no? Can you see the dolphin now? Yes, you're supposed to see dolphin inside. So because we have not activated using the right brain, that's my point. So we have to start learning how to see things from different angle, start activating our right brain to see more clarities. Okay, next one. Now, please read instruction carefully. Read the instruction very, very carefully because you're going to read as fast as you can. Look at the chart and say the color, not the word, as fast as you can. Okay? If you're ready, on my mark, get set, go. Read the color, please. Do your level best. Read the color, not the word. You're supposed to read green, red, blue, yellow, red, white, red, not the color, huh? Read the color of the words, not the word itself. So I'm sure you get confused because why? Okay, there's a tendency. Let me show you the answer. Your right brain are conflicting. Your left brain and your right brain are conflicting because your right brain is supposed to read the color, but your left brain insists of reading the word. It all depends on which side of your brain is more dominant. If you're more dominant on the right-hand side, it's actually become effortlessly for you to read the color. If you actually like more on the left dominant, you tend to actually read the word. That's the reason why we need training to balance the left side and right side of the brain. Based on instruction, you tell me to read the color, I'll read the color. But I want to make a point. If I turn all these words, into Russian. I'm sure majority of Malaysians don't understand Russian. If I ask you to read the color, I'm sure you can read it out loud, no, without any effort at all, because you don't even know how to read the Russian. Do you agree with me? Yes or yes? I repeat, if these words are turned into Russian, you can, without any effort, you can read the color out loud very easily, okay? Because they are something that you're familiar, when you attempt to read the color, there's a tendency your left brain want to take over and read the word. So that's my point. Okay, next one, what do you see? Tell me, what do you see? Read it out if you can, I mean, by yourself. Read it out first, within about 30 seconds, I'll come back to you. Okay, see, according to a research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what orders the letter in the words are. The only important thing is that the first and the last letter to be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess. You can still read it without any problem at all. That's because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the whole word as a whole. See, it's actually implying to let you know that as long as the first letter and the last letter at the right, on each word is at the correct place, you can still understand what we are sharing or the conveying. But unfortunately, we as a human being, that also implies that we can go for speed reading, but we don't dare to because of the inferior, because of the fear of making mistake. So I want to share with you that this is how powerful, is to prove to you how powerful a mind is. Okay, now, earlier we talked about the brain, left and right brain. We have one brain, to do integration between left and right parts of the body. But what's important, we also need to understand the mind, M-I-N-D, the mind. But I've used an analogy about this particular picture. When you see this picture, what does it tell you? What can you relate to? Can you relate to a historical event and also link into blockbuster movie? Anyone who knows what that is? When you look at this iceberg, you relate to a historical event. And of course, you actually remember Titanic. It became a blockbuster movie. Now, here why I particularly use an iceberg. It was announced by the Titanic investor or the captain, say that it will not sink. But until they hit onto the iceberg, they did sink, simply because they didn't realize that they thought above the horizon, sea horizon, it's just a small ice cube. But didn't realize that underneath there's a big, humongous ice cube. That's why they knocked under and they actually sunk. So here I want to relate to is that we have a very powerful mind. And this mind is actually what we need to know in detail. We have one mind called conscious mind, the captain. I use an analogy called captain. The captain is the one always the one who gives the direction or give the instruction. Direction is more appropriate. Okay. But underneath, there's a bunch of soldiers waiting to serve this captain. One captain, conscious mind, and there are 40,000 subconscious mind, the soldiers, waiting to serve the captain. Now imagine this. This captain say, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. What do you think the soldier will answer? Can you type into the chat box? If this captain me say, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm no use, I'm no good. So what do you think the soldier will answer? Can you type in the chat box? Okay. The soldier, as a soldier, they always obey to the instruction coming from the captain. So he will say what? Yes, sir. Boss wants us to be idiot. Let's make him idiot. Actually, it's a soldier that follow orders coming from the captain and make him idiot. We are idiots, right? If he say, I'm a smart, I'm a genius, I'm a genius, what do you think the soldier will answer? The soldier always follow orders that come from the captain as a directive. So you say, yes, sir, boss want to be a genius, we make him genius. Boss want to be healthy, we make him healthy. Boss want to live longer, we make him live longer, because it is a captain that controls the soldiers. I want you to understand that. So when you come to breeding your child, educating your child, you must also understand the analogy between the captain and the soldier. Children from very young, they don't really have an opinion of their own. They follow orders from the captain. So I'm referring to, it can be the parents, it can be the grandparents. So whatever you say, they just follow orders. For example, you say something very, let's say when the baby time, right? You say, don't do anything of this one. You always say no. Let me show you. Let me give an example. Just give me a minute. Okay, but before I proceed to that, right? I also want you to listen to one of the genius who actually invented the car. He was Henry Ford. Can you type in the chat box, what was his popular quote that you can remember about Henry Ford? What was the popular quotation coming from Henry Ford? Any idea? Any idea? What was a popular quote coming from Henry Ford? I will start. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, can you answer me? If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, what's the remaining answer? This quotation comes from Henry Ford. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. Okay, he didn't say that. Okay, to be exact, it's like, if you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you are right. Because you're the captain of your own spaceship. Of course, he doesn't understand about the mind, but he does understand if this is what you think you are, then you are. That means therefore you are. Okay, I want you to understand. So that's why you look at baby from very young, they'll be exposed to what? Listen carefully, they'll be exposed to this.
No.
It's the first word we learn.
Okay, it's a
No.
Now, who do you think these children learn from? Right? We are the one who always say no to the kids. And these are the negative words I've been saying tons of time. No, but, try, TRY, I don't know, I cannot. See, you have to abstain from telling your children this. You always have to tell them, please stop. I give an example. This is obvious in Chinese, especially people who use the choice of Mandarin or Chinese. When children tend to run around, we all say, don't run, don't run, don't run. But do you realize that when you say don't run, they run more vigorously? You ask them, don't shout, don't shout, don't shout, they shout louder. Or you're supposed to say, keep quiet. Okay? See, that's why the right choice of word is very important for you to influence your child. You must understand when their mind go into a happy mode, they get them to excite, they've always listened to the last choice of word. So when you say no, oh no, okay, they do more. When you say don't run, they'll run further. You ask them don't shout, they will shout louder because we have used the wrong choice of word. When they are into the excite mode, that's what I'm implying. But you see, the but and the try, please remember, the brain itself, the mind itself given a choice, 50% yes and 50% no. If you're given a choice of 50% yes and 50% no, which one do you tend to choose? I bet you will choose to go for no. Same thing, brain will always go for the easiest way. So that's why you must abstain from using all this what they call negative choice of word to affect, not to affect them. Okay, so this is actually what I want to emphasize upon. Okay, stop using the negative words. Okay, there are more to be learned as we go along. I mean, not this round, sorry. Okay, Prodigy design number 3. Eventually, we want them to be a caretaker. At all times, become a curious and always strive to achieve what they call kanai, constant and never-ending improvement. Okay, meaning to say, we always want the child that we train able to always try to be better and better. But of course, they do it right before they become better and better. They have to find the right method before they do it better and better. Okay, so one of the ways to assess themselves is actually we have developed this method called A perfect method, which we focus on the attitude development. Because after they have open up their brain, they already have the ability to be healthy and so forth. Their mental mind is actually calm, able to managing their stress. They have to look forward to be able to do what they call attitude development. To me, gratitude is my attitude. So I always appreciate what is happening around me. Being proactive rather than being reactive. E&E, renew, being effective first, do it right before it become better and better. But no matter what they do, despite we talk about perfection, please remember, perfect is never ending. It's always in cycle. So they must always be result-oriented. I'm sure you come across some of the kids or even adults, they like to say, let me work it out with perfection first, then only I come to you. In real life, there's no such thing called perfection, right? Perfect is just a cycle. You have to be result-oriented. You have to learn how to focus. The challenges nowadays, youngsters especially, they like to be able to become multitasker. But the challenge is actually they do not know how to manage this multitasking tasks, right? Of course, do train your children, do explore and discover the enthusiasm. I mean, what is really good in them, so that whatever they do with passion, they do with the great effort, become a great achiever and so forth. A communicator, I'm sorry, this is my mistake. Communicator, they need to be great in communication. The biggest challenge of all is that people don't tend to communicate effectively. They make a lot of assumptions. It's like your assumption and my assumption are not the same. Example, I give example. I already send you email. You make assumption that I read the email. I didn't know that you sent me email because I didn't read my inbox. So you cannot assume that when I send you an email into your inbox, you make assumption that the other end have read your email. Same thing. If I post a mail to your post box, it doesn't imply that I've read the mail because nobody told me. Okay. So take charge as a leader. Like if you understand the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, eventually they have to behave as a leader to take charge. Now, the next one I want to share with you my accomplishment, who I train. This is my student. Okay, since 2007 he was my student. At that time he was big, but of course he loved, his passion was about mathematics. And true enough, in 2012 he became the Malaysia fastest human calculator, because in 2012 he was ranked the first Malaysia ranked world third place in MEMORAP under the speed math. Okay, under the speed math. So he's now actually very enthusiastic and keep on promoting about mathematics. I mean, using computer stuff and so forth. Okay, the next one, in 1999, this is Mr. Cheong. He was my student, then eventually become my partner, helping me to develop the 3D Easy Art. He's a key man, you know, to talk about draw whatever you've seen already, right? We focus on the brain compatible learning. We combine our Curie method, which is actually my method, together with Da Vinci and develop this 3D Easy Art. He also has special ability to do certain things, which eventually I'll share with you at a later time, next session. Okay, finally, this is my daughter. Okay, my daughter. Let me do some changes first. I need to do some changes first. Okay, I'll introduce my daughter. Okay, my daughter was delivered with no vaccination. Okay, no medication, no doctors, except the first injection. Except that I have to obtain the IC. Otherwise, they won't release IC to me. So she would have to actually inject first time. The second injection was to extract her baby tooth. So since then, I mean, other than these two injection, right? She was not on medication. She can be labeled as a non-medicated child. So she's going to turn into 16 in this October 2021. Okay, look at how she introduced herself.
Hi, my name is Kiki. I'm Kiki. Passionate and amazing dancer and a leader.
So you heard from her what she wanted to be. Okay. Now, after going through all this stimulation training, like what I shared with you, if you look at her cognitive skill, okay, this is done by called a Gibson test. Gibson would have tested. Okay, let me come back to you. Let's try again. Is it better? Okay, now you can see. So this is actually by Gibson. Okay, what happened? You'll be amazed and surprised. Gibson actually studied about the literacy in America. He have done more than 18,000 tests. And then he commented, in America, more than 85% of the American citizens are illiterate in terms of reading, mathematics, or even writing. They are very bad in what they do in the studies. So eventually, he came out with an ideology as to do testing. So my daughter was tested, okay, to see her competency in terms of the brain. Connective is actually more about the brain function. So I need you to pay attention to this part, processing speed at 99%. And she did the test at the age of 12 years and 12.4 months, 12.4 years, sorry, 12.4 years, okay? So what commented from the consultant or the advisor is actually that she was already competent enough to study in America, in the university in America. So with that competency, because most of the scoring that she obtained was high mark. They mean to say she had been well trained on her brain, especially on the right brain, as I claim. They don't understand what called left brain, right brain. They only work about long-term memory, working memory, the visual processing, the processing speed, the attention span, and so forth. She achieved with a high score. So I want to address it is doable. The next one is, I want to show you is, okay, so you can see that this is actually her first time. She was on a mermaid suit and demonstrate to public that he was able to dive and swim 25 meters with one breath, right? And then of course, that time she was only 11-year-old. 11-year-old. Then she able to accomplish more now. Okay, so she exposed to many activities. Even when she was petite, she was able to become a fast runner. You know, whether it's actually in 200-meter runs. So she's good in drawing, and she also good in this following. We won 6 gold medal of the 9 events. Okay, bear in mind, this is an open group, means actually for adult. Then she won 6 out of the gold medal. This is in the following is actually in Taiwan, Taipei. Okay, why do I show you this? Because just not about impress upon you about she won the one. There are 2 things I want to emphasize upon. So to me, I told her I'm not interested whether you win or don't win. It's an effort that counts. Now, but again, I encourage her to have a breakthrough. She won simply because she was dancing an adult dance. Adult dance are not kids dance. That was 2018. And moreover, the judges was very impressed about her arch that's developed, her feet, her arch that were developed on her feet. So they were actually asking her, how come your arch is different from other people? Because most of the ballerina don't really have a beautiful arch. Okay, so my daughter commented, oh, it was built by my father. So the actually judges wanted to meet up with me and say, Ken, you go to Malaysia and meet and find him. Okay, so this is what I want to comment. The next one is a contempt dance. Okay, I'll just stop here. This is actually a contempt dance that she won 2nd place. The key same thing, I told her, left her a breakthrough. So it's an international dance, but she took the liberty to have a Chinese song. And then the whole dancing was choreographed by herself. And for her to win. Okay, these are all the events that she did. She actually good in memory competition. She won 12 gold, silver, and gold and silver in memory, and on the 2017. So she took part in several. So come to dancing in ballerina and in Latin, she won many. Even she's a good public speaker.
各位评判老师， 老师以及亲爱的同事们，大家早上好！我叫陈千惠，今天我要和大家分享讲什么本地文明三样travelers. But how do you use it? I've been a young man, and I'm younger than today. I like to learn together the syllabus
Okay, so you see, public speaking is become a norm for her because I asked her to do it from very young. Okay, from very young. So again, you will see that in English storytelling, in 2016, among the 34 Chinese schools, she actually got second place. Even in 2017, among 205 schools in KL zone, she also got second place. Now, the next one, I want to show you this. Okay, I'm sorry. It's running. Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Nancy, and today I'm going to be sharing an interesting story with you entitled The Magic Sewing Machine. When Mom unfolded the cloth, spread it out.
Okay, see why I had to show you this, because when she was standard 6, I gave her another challenge. I asked her another breakthrough. So all presentation, all public speaking, all Sharahan, you're only allowed to prepare in 2 hours time. So this one took him 2 hours to prepare and go to the stage and present herself and won her champion. So for Malay, she got the place, then she got Chinese, she also got the place and so forth. So like I said, to me, it's more about her development, her breakthrough. Okay, those these are the achievements that she got. Even like in Latin, she won many awards. Then in ballerina, as a ballet competition, she also got many scholarships. Like 3 from States, 3 from Singapore, 3 from Hong Kong, 2 from Japan actually, 1 from France, 1 Indonesia. Even last year in December, she got 1 award, 1 scholarship from Russia, right? And of course, I sent her to Indonesia and France. Why Indonesia? Because for consecutive to 2017 and 2018, Indonesia under the category, they're actually the world champion. And when she was awarded, I encouraged her to go to Indonesia and learn from the expert and understand how tough and why they deserve to win champion. And in 2019, November 7, she was also selected to become the core MC for UNICEF under the SDG. This is something that all parents must be able to fully participate in. SDG, Sustainable Development Goal set by the UNICEF. In fact, Malaysia by year 2030 want to become sustainable by achieving 17 targets. QQ now was granted full scholarship studying in the first entrepreneur school, international school, for these 2 years. But unfortunately, she only have a very short span experience in the school, but mostly actually go online. Okay, finally, in 2021, okay, these are her accomplishments. She also, despite of the COVID or pandemic, she still take part in all whatever competition that she can take part, even on the virtual. Like this is actually on in March, virtual Great Britain Open Cup. She won herself with some rewards, like second place. But one of the first place that she won was actually being judged, with some comment. Amazing balance and use of body, shaping, very powerful and well done. Okay, same thing in March, she also took part in Singapore Grand Prix, the World Ballet Grand Prix, and won herself a gold medal. But among the 3 gold medals, she was actually champion, number 1. Okay, this is actually the recent one, just last 2 months. She did a redemption of a song by using Justin Bieber's song, but she actually did the lyrics by herself.
For all the times that you feel so despondent, where you don't know who to turn to or go, what you do if you feel like the world's against you.
Again, I do not want to take up too much of a time. If really keen, you can always go inquire from us, probably from me. What are the clips you would like to study more and in depth? Again, my intention why I share all these things, because I'm going to do 2 projects. Okay, my intention is to establish 2 projects. One project is actually called Project Happy Child. Okay, is to be able to help the children to really bring up their talent to the max. But of course, this one will be done by some collaboration with some of my partners and so forth. Okay, personally, I would like to do more on the project hopes for parents and educators. What does a hope means? They actually hope for is a new hope, is a new project, new hopes, going for holistic. Okay, do everything as organic as possible. No involvement of chemical, chemistry or so whatever. Use a natural way as much as possible. Establishing on positivity, because if you understand Chinese saying, I was first explain it. I will first say in Mandarin, then I will explain in English. 言教不如身教，身教不如敬教。言教 means that instead you were to tell the children what to do, you lead by example. Rather than leading by example, it is important that you have an environment for them to be influenced. This is actually what I meant by positivity. Because you must understand, we do not just want them to become a learner, because learning is a lifelong learning. It's a long time thing. Then of course, they also must be a great thinker. And ultimately, they are able to do all these challenges with full energy. Now, just an example, in 2020, last year, before pandemic, it was actually in February, my daughter was selected by the school to go and take part in the Selangor State swimming competition. So she was good in swimming, but she never participated in any competition. So she asked my opinion, can I join? Of course, we can join. It's your view, right? Eventually, it only took her 2 weeks to get prepared. She didn't really put a lot of practices, but she did put an effort. Eventually, amongst 300 candidates, she won 60 something. And of course, I say the prize is not important, it's the effort that counts. But what is really important, the competition was held for 3 days, from 7 early morning until 3, 4 o'clock. Which after that, after 4, she still continued doing her homework and study and so forth. So that what is really amazed me, that she have all the energy needed to be able to accomplish her work. So for project, for parents, it is important that you must fulfill these 6 criteria. As a parent, to educate your child, you must understand what health means, know how to deal with the stress, understand how to draw the power of your brain and also memory. Be creative and innovative. This is one of my core subject, one of my forte. Then self-leadership, train them to be a leader, know how to lead themselves. Don't just be led by other people. Because if you don't understand how to take care of yourself, you're never able to take care of other people. You don't understand how leaders think and so forth. Okay, this is very important. Okay. So other than that, we talk about self and time management, because the bigger challenge is that people don't understand the importance of times. Okay, we need them to be able to manage the time. Okay, so finally, it's about right brain learning and application, because whatever you have done and so forth, it is important that you know how to learn and apply. This is actually more mandatory. Now, I'll also show you what else can they do. Now, can you look at the wall? Look at this wall. Tell me, what do you think, what are the materials that are being used? Make a wild guess. What do you think are the materials that are being used? What do you think are these materials being used? You'd be surprised, these are all made by papers, and they are as hard as rock. They are as hard as stone. Nature like sand. Okay, I emphasize a lot of recycling. I would like to use leveraging not just egg carton, it's actually paper and a lot of we call raising. Now you see, these are all made by papers. These are all effort made by the children and so forth. So I would not want to emphasize, actually, don't just think about helping the children to be healthy, draw their potential. They also have to be a caretaker, like I said, take care of the mother nature. Not only they take care of the mother nature, they have to take care of themselves, take care of the community, take care of the surrounding, and take care of the society. This is what we wish to draw out from the children. So, and this is all I'd like to share.